Hi, my name is Mike Breen, and I'm making this video to share with you, thank you for watching, what happened to me. I'm doing it for a few different reasons. One would be maybe there's somebody else that has heard of this or has it themselves, and I'd love to connect with that person. So I am up in Washington State. I am 59 years old. When I was 15 years old, they say, I've said all my life, I had a collapsed artery in my spine. And what happened was I was very healthy. I was a commercial fisherman. And I was off a trip. I was laying on the couch with my girlfriend in the morning on Sunday. And I got a really bad backache. So bad that I said, call an ambulance. I remember walking upstairs and seeing if I could, pee it off. It felt like it was in my kidneys. Ambulance came, took me to the hospital, and they shot me full of morphine. They thought I had an appendicitis, but I didn't. Shot me full of morphine and sent me home. So I went to my girlfriend's house, and that evening I couldn't lift my left leg. They said, bring him in for observation. So I went into the hospital, and they kept saying we need a urine sample, but I said, when I got to go, I will. And the next morning they finally felt, and I had 1,800 cc's of pee in me, and I was completely paralyzed, couldn't move a muscle below my belly button. They transferred me over to Virginia Mason Hospital, did all the tests they could do back in 1974, and said that, there's nothing that they could do, put me to a Providence Hospital for rehabilitation. I walked out like 3 weeks later wearing full leg braces, locked, crutches, because I really didn't want to roll out of the hospital. And over the next year and a half, I gained the use of my left leg back and partial use of my right leg. I still can't lift my leg or anything with lifting my foot. I can't do with my right leg. So I say that I regained use of my left leg, but there's other things that happened, and that is that I lost my sense of pain and temperature. So although I can feel a feather, or you could blow on me, I can feel it. If you touch me, I feel just like you're touching me. But if you pour hot water on me, I can't tell it's hot or cold. And pain. If you hit me with a hammer, I can see or feel you hit me with a hammer, but it just doesn't hurt. And so growing up with that loss of sensation has really taken its toll on day-to-day life. The other thing that I had was spasms, meaning that my legs would, just go into spasms whenever they would want to, and the other thing that my bladder, my bowels, and my sex wasn't right. It wasn't, always bad, but it wasn't ever just right. It would be, whatever it felt like doing that time. So my best day of walking since I was 15 years old was, I think, maybe when I was about age 20. I felt like I ran down a hill at the golf course, only wearing one AFO on my right leg. And when I was about 35, I started falling for a reason that I didn't know. My good leg would give out, and I'd go down, and I would really hurt myself then. And so after some investigation, they did an MRI of my knees and said I've worn my knees out. And so the best way for me to get around or not to fall is to not use it, to use a wheelchair. And so I was forced to do that over time. And I have, a year ago, May, I had, I guess, a second spinal cord injury. I woke up in the morning and my legs were completely numb from here down. They just felt like they went to sleep. And I know what that feels like because I used to have normal feeling legs, and so it felt like they went to sleep. And so I waited for a couple of days, went to a chiropractor and didn't come back. So I went to the doctor and they did an MRI of actually 11 of them. Sent me to the University of Washington, and the doctor there did a decompression of my spine. I've got a scar about that long. When I spoke with him, he told me that I would a good surgery would be to maintain with the motion that I had right then, which made my heart sink because I didn't have much motion. And But a bad surgery, he said, if I don't have the surgery, I will be paralyzed from the neck down because of the way my spine is. And so I had the surgery, and that was about a year ago. And I can stand up and pull my pants up. I'm working really hard with a vibrating machine. I've got a walk aid, and so I am committed myself to walking again because I have too nice of a trike that I like to drive, and it just doesn't seem right that I can't get off and go into a restaurant. So that's the just the beginning. This is going to take a lot longer than I have here with this film right now. But about 3 years ago, I learned that there was a name for what happened to me. I was at the casino of all places, and a guy says, "What happened to you?" Which has happened to thousands of times. And I told him, and he kind of looked a little bit puzzled and went over to his phone. And 30 minutes later, he came back and says, "You had Beck's syndrome, Becks, Beck's syndrome." I looked at my phone and I pulled it up, and unbelievable. I saw it in print. Bad backache, 12 hours, you'll be paralyzed from the injury down. You lose your sex bladder and bowels, or you don't lose it, but it's just somehow affected. And you're spastic. Also, they said that there's 99% chance of not having kids, and I have two daughters. I'm really glad I didn't read that, when it happened to me. But yeah, there's a name for it, Beck syndrome, and apparently only 1,600 people have had it since they came out with the name in 1952. So it's really interesting that I have this. The other reason that I'm creating this video is because, although they say there's no cure, I'm really diligent to try to find one, and there's no doctor that would even touch me, because they don't know what they're doing there, not yet. I'm thinking that I believe in, infinite possibilities. I believe that we are, the creator of our reality, and although I've tried, to visualize these nerves hooking themselves back up, I might need your help. So I'm thinking maybe I was here to restore or bring collective consciousness to a new height. I'm going to be taking more videos. I'm going to show you, how I walk. I'm going to share some of my stories, because I have a lot of stories that might help people, and so thank you for listening, and my email will be somewhere on the post of this, mike@oldiepen.com, and there will be some place where you can post questions too, so that I can, if you have any questions, we can talk about it. Thank you.